Hey guys, Wolvie here with a video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global for the 30th of July, 2020. This will be about the raid that just went live on Global, and this will feature the rework analysis for Auron for Final Fantasy X. I completely forgot to do this in the calendar preview. I sincerely apologize for omitting this information, but I do want to get the information regarding Auron's rework out and about. And I want to make sure the information is as accurate as possible. So, you guys know the drill here when it comes to the the rework analysis is just both the pros and the cons. So, meaning that what's good about it, what could be improved, for the secondary rework when that day comes. But this is going to be in the second half of the video, so know that it is going to be my opinion only. We're only going to go over the information regarding the current raid. It's called Charging Power 128% Soul Cannon Raid. So we're going to go over all the relevant information that is pertaining to this particular raid. Now we know the whole deal about the raid. Now we're going to go over the quest details for Charging Power 128%. So we have your intermediate expert, which is the expert is the co-op. We have the EX co-op, Cosmos co-op, Chaos, and then the challenge. Now the challenge here is the same difficulty as the Chaos, so you do need to complete the Chaos difficulty fight in order to unlock it. So, with that bit out of the way, so we do know information regarding the Soul Cannon. So right here it says there are no weaknesses or resistances. So with this particular one in the Chaos difficulty fight, is that for the Chaos difficulty fight, it will be tough against ranged and magic attacks, and the launchers are also immune to paralyze. So you might as well bring people who deal melee damage only in the Chaos fight, meaning that certain people are more recommended. Now, regarding the characteristics regardless of the difficulty, the Soul Cannon itself cannot be knocked back, so you might want to refrain from bringing your launchers unless you're using the launcher unit for the sole reason of unlocking certain debuffs or certain buffs. That's the only reason you'd want to bring one. Now, the Soul Cannon will also be accompanied by two launchers. The Soul Cannon will unleash the group range attack and HP attack called Wave Cannon, which is also a recast ability. Will also unleash a single brave attack that gets stronger with each use, such as Fusillade or high-powered cannon. Launchers will unleash Set Ascent missile, where they'll increase your own brave before dealing HP damage, as well as secondary gun, a single target brave attack that grants bravery to the Soul Cannon. Since both Soul Cannon and the launchers have speed to unleash HP attacks frequently, use abilities that deal group HP damage and defeat all enemies as quickly as possible. Now, the synergy for this particular one are going to be the following: Gilgamesh for Final Fantasy V, Tifa for Final Fantasy VII, Keishi for Final Fantasy VII, Squall for Final Fantasy VIII, Steiner for Final Fantasy IX, and Auron for Final Fantasy X. So that's it on that. All that good stuff here. Then we're going to go take a quick look at the individual mission details, so all this good stuff. So this right here is the Cosmos and Chaos difficulty conditions where, you complete or clear, you get certain rewards. Now here is the challenge quest information. So if you were to clear the challenge quest, you get 3 draw tickets. If you perfect it, you get the burst power token. Now in order to perfect this, you have to use 3 synergy characters. So it could be any of the 3 that is above right here. So any of those 3. So you probably want to bring a healer along, so that's that. So in any case, we're going to scroll down here. This is the additional daily details. So you have to clear the previous set in order to unlock the additionals, which is in the fine print. Now the artifact mission details. You know, you get the you exchange 1 gold, not gold, 10 gold tokens for 1 Eidosha artifact. You get 200 gems per character, so it's a grand total of 1,200 gems. All there. This is the beatback mission stuff right here. So this is the pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This pattern repeats until the 50 triumphs. And then you have here the boosted character aspect of things. So this is it right here. So, like I said, I'm not going to give out an opinion for the information regarding the raid. The only part I'm going to be giving information on is going to be Auron's rework, which also has the EX realization. So we're going to go into the EX realization info for Auron right now. So we're not going to go into Squall's aspect right away, but actually, you know what? Screw that. So we're not into the Auron rework aspect just yet, but we're going to go into information pertaining to Squall's LD and burst weapon. Now, this is where I kind of agree with somewhere when it comes to banners where a burst character also has their LD available. Go after the LD, and then when it comes to the burst weapon, go after it on another banner unless you get really lucky. Now, we have here the information regarding Blasting Zone. This is the finishing move this is the finishing move for Squall's burst weapon. What Blasting Zone is a 15-hit group melee brave attack and group HP attack. Moderately increased brave damage when attacking single target. Deals proportionate HP damage to each target. This, when it comes down to the bravery, this does surpass the 99.99 cap. And then when it comes down to the, it's all the information you see here. It's kind of hard for me to explain. Now, I do want to point out here is that this does not stack with identical characters' burst effects. And this is pertaining to either co-op or in solo quest in some cases. Now, we have here, and the name of the weapon, by the way, is the Blasting Edge. Now, for the LD weapon, it's called Organics. It has the ability Rough Divide. This is a 8-hit group melee brave attack and single target HP attack. This is I believe this is splash damage. So the overflow limit here is 180%. Deals 80% splash damage. Deals 80% of HP damage to non-targets. You do have to forgive me here, and I just got home from work. I nearly got stranded, so that's it on that. So what this also does is this grants solitary lion to self for 5 turns, grants 1 level of the special effect Roaring Hammer to self for 8 turns. So it has this special icon as you see here. So that's that on that. We're going to go into the other banner right here. So this, for like both banners, this will have the LD and burst weapon for Squall. This particular banner, it has the 1535 and EX weapons in addition to Squall for Gilgamesh, Tifa, and Keishi. So, and again, the first multi-heal is free. For the other banner, and I forgot to bring it up. So it has the EX and the 1535 EX weapons for Cider and Auron. This is in addition to Squall's gear. This is pretty good overall in my personal opinion because the 40th Broadway saying did bring up that at this point in the game on global, I think you might want to start going after some damage dealers because support's always going to be support. They're going to be key priority, but now the playing field is at a point where damage dealers, you might want to start going after them as well. I will say, though, in my personal opinion, is that when it comes down to people saying, oh, you should skip this, going over that, you need to throw that out the window. Because you're going to need a diverse roster, not just for this point in the Chaos difficulty, but the upcoming Lufenia difficulty as well. So the more characters you have developed, the better. And this also pertains to, you know, your in-game rank. The higher your in-game rank is, the better chance you can actually farm your summon boards, your character enhancement boards, so that way everybody is ready to go. And I will also mention here that upon the raid going live, I'm going to go into the training boards because Tifa is one of those characters who does have her character enhancement board available. She is one of those. Now we're going to go over the other characters. So Gilgamesh, you'll see here, he has his character enhancement board available. Now we're going to go into, see where's Auron. His is now available. You look at Steiner, his is now available. Like I said, Tifa has hers because I actually used the points I have for my particular Tifa. Now for Syria. So you know, yeah, so basically Tifa, Steiner, Auron, Keishi, and Gilgamesh, they pretty much have their character enhancement boards available now on the global end. Let me see here. Yep, I was right. So, yeah, so Keishi, he does have his character enhancement board. So basically, now I think what's going on going forward in global is that when it comes to the character enhancement boards, it'll be released right away. So I particularly like that. So we're going to go into the other half of the video, and that is going to be the Auron rework and the EX realization information pertaining to his EX. Because, like I said, I do apologize. I forgot that Auron gets his rework kind of early in the sense of the burst era. We're just going to scroll down, all the way down, all the way down. And we're going to go into, here it is. The name of Auron's weapon is called Shiranui. We're going to go over, this is a recap of the pre-realization info. And this is going to be post-realization. So, 0 out of 3 post-realization is the following. This becomes a 2-hit grade. This is the information you see here. Basically, 2-hit group melee and brave taker group HP attack that occurs twice. Moderately increased cumulative brave damage. Stolen bravery may exceed individual max up to 120%. Increased duration of melee resist down to 4 turns from 3. Increased duration of physical attack up to 8 turns from 6. This also becomes HP attack plus. And all this stuff here, it deals, it has the splash damage style, which I really like. Now, 1 out of 3 post-realization, it's a moderate range, 2 max bravery and attack. 2 out of 3 post-realization, does another recast speed of Dragon Fang. At the start of the quest, grants Bushido physical attack up to self for 5 turns, and a full recast gauge, meaning that you can whip this out right away. And by this, the Dragon Fang EX ability. Now, Bushido is a race to max bravery and attack. 3 out of 3 post-realization. When you're using Dragon Fang, it's a first hit 2 grip. So, basically, it says here, a first 2 hit, yeah. Now, it's information you see on it's a bit of a mouthful here. So, basically, it's a 2 hit group melee, brave attack, and group HP attack becomes a 3-hit group melee, brave attack, and HP attack. Tremendously increased cumulative brave damage. The overflow limit goes up to 200% for 120%. Now there is a second hit. There's a second hit. There's a second one that says second 2-hit group melee, brave attack, and group HP attack because a 3-group hit melee, brave attack, and group HP attack tremendously increased cumulative brave damage. Second HP attack deals total damage to each target. So basically, well, if you notice here from the 0 out of 3, here, yeah. So this becomes freaking insane. Now, once you fully realize Shiranui and 3 out of 3 and max it out, you get the E-Sphere. Debuff success melee attack longer, raises melee attack by 5% for 6 turns, does not stack with the same sphere. Now, you can only think of units who do melee attack that could probably benefit from this, and those who can also inflict debuffs. So, RNA, she has an E-Sphere, but this would not work with her, in my personal opinion. So, it's basically anybody who does melee attacks, all that stuff, and also can inflict debuffs. So you have to think of those type of units to put this sphere on. Now we're going to go into there is a 7-day gem sale, so this is the stuff right here. It's kind of like the same old song and dance in the eyes of some, in my personal opinion. And there is the return of Squall's alternate costume once again, so that's it on that. So now we're going to get into the rework analysis. You know what's going on with Auron's EX weapon post-realization. Basically, I'll say this right now, when it comes to his EX, when you realize it, you probably wanted to have it 3 out of 3, because if you want people at their best, you want them maxed out. That's all there is to it there. Now we're going to go into the rework itself with his skills and certain passives. So, with Auron, we have here the Crystal Strength level 54 passive ability. It used to be called Debuff Boost, now it's called Buff Boost. With active buff, it has a moderate raise to the max bravery, so the conditions for this change, meaning that you no longer have to debuff an enemy. As long as Auron has at least one buff on him, there is going to be a moderate raise to his max bravery. Crystal Strength level 55 passive ability, which is the Banishing Blade extension. There are no additional uses for this. The additional uses came with the 6060 Awakening. So basically, with the with this reworked version, now the Brave attack hit count becomes 6 from 4. Tremendously increased cumulative brave damage. Stolen Bravery may exceed max up to 120%. Deals 50% HP damage to non-targets. Inflicts the initial Brave Down debuff to all targets. The duration is 1 turn more. All targets also get the max Brave Down 1 debuff. The duration here is 1 turn more. Now this is where Auron grants himself the new infrared buff called Bushido. While Bushido is active, Brave Attack becomes Brave Attack Plus, and of course, to a friendly reminder, the Bushido infrared buff is a raise to max bravery and attack. So we're going to go into the Crystal Strength level 58 passive ability. It used to be called Debuff Attack Speed. Now it's called Buff Attack Speed. With the active buff, it has a slight raise to attack and speed. So basically, you no longer have to debuff an enemy for Auron to get these types of effects. You just have to make sure he has a buff on him. Now, Purgatory, which is the Purgatory extension, which is the Crystal Strength level 60 passive ability. Pre-rework, he has 1 more use. Post-rework, he has 2 more uses. So, basically, he has 2 more uses of Purgatory post-rework. Not pre-work, post. Now, with Purgatory, it is now a 2-hit melee Brave Attack, becomes a 4-hit melee Brave Attack, plus group melee Brave Attack, plus group HP attack. That's a bit of a mouthful right there. Tremendously increased cumulative brave damage, deals total HP damage to each target. Now, when it comes down to the melee resist down, this is there is 2 more turns for this particular debuff. And this also gives him the Bushido frame buff. Now, what do I think about Auron's rework? I will be honest here, and I'll say I am kind of floored, because he has ways to deal AoE damage all across the board, and this makes him pretty damn badass. Now, I mean, and this is on the overall note, because he's got AoE splashed out in skill 1, AoE full in skill 2, but the thing is that kind of concerns me is that when it comes down to his EX, you need to have it 3 out of 3 post-realization in order to really make him work. And the reason why that kind of bothers me is that when it comes to varying characters, is that if you need to have them 3 out of 3 post-realization with their EX weapon, it makes them a bit more expensive to develop. And sometimes you just don't have the means or the time to really do what you want to do with certain characters if they need to be that expensive to develop. And there are characters out there like Quistis. She's an expensive one, despite what people think. So yeah, he is a bit of an expensive build, for my personal opinion, and that kind of hurts him. Now, I'm going to go into my Auron. I do not have his EX weapon realized yet, but let me see here, because I want to show off, the number of uses, just to showcase certain aspects of what I mean. See if I can find him real quick. So basically, we're going to go into, so basically he's at an 8-7, so the thing is like, even with the uses, the more uses of Purgatory, it's just that, in all honesty, he's one of those, it's like, you really have to pay attention to his skill uses, because otherwise, he's gonna really hurt, and meaning that, and by that, run out of steam fast. So with the second rework, where they could go with this, probably just more uses of skill 1 and skill 2. And figure out a way where he doesn't have to be reliant on his EX weapon to do anything. So it's just one of those, it's like, he really needs more uses to be effective on the long term. And I'm hoping the LD helps with that. So to do a bit of a recap here, pretty damn good rework for Auron. It's just that he's an expensive build, and you really do need to keep a close eye on his skill uses so that he doesn't run out of steam. Now, the thing I really do like, and I forgot to mention this, is that Lena no longer becomes the only one who could inflict the initial breakdown. Meaning that she's been given a run for her money in that regard. But the thing is with Auron, I'll be completely honest, it's just that Lena can do the initial breakdown a bit better. And if he were to do, and I'm hoping, with the second rework, on top of the more uses, and hopefully the LD does something special, is that the duration of the initial breakdown debuff that he inflicts to make him more competitive with Lena in that regard. But you know what, that's just my opinion at the end of the day. And to do a quick recap, like I said, I forgot about Auron's rework, I do apologize. But the thing is, when it comes down to the squall banners pertaining to his LD and burst, I would probably say just go after the LD first. But if you get let me rephrase this, get the LD with the 2 banners. But if you wind up getting the burst weapon, that's even better, because at least you don't have to worry as much in the long run. So that's where I'm going to end this video. So, like I said, to do a quick clear up of the blunder I just did, for the 2 squall banners, the real goal is to get his LD, and that way you can focus on the other banners to get his burst. But the thing is, his LD and burst does come back, so you don't really have much to worry about if you miss out on the first time. So with that, I'm going to get going for right now, and with Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.